Welcome to another oil painting demonstration. I've got my primed board, and now picture please, thank you. It's Irene Manco, a very talented photographer who I've stolen the picture of, and I hope she doesn't sue me and destroy me forever. Please, Irene. I'm on board again. I'm not bored. I'm far from bored. I love painting. Why do I love painting? I don't know why I love painting. Why do we love creating things? I don't know. Slightly obsessive kind of mentality. But do what you love is what I say. That's the path to wisdom, in my humble opinion. Right. It's diluted oil paint, not acrylic, that I used in my last demo. This is a more traditional approach. Terps. I've got two colours, ultramarine blue and transparent red oxide. You can use burnt umber, I think. And that gives a warm, cool contrast. So you've got the interplay between the warm and the cool, which is very important in all portraits. It's a kind of difference between a sort of waxy looking dead face, usually just warm all over, just kind of brown, pinky orange. You've got to get the greys in there to give it balance and mimic flesh, proper flesh. Yeah. And right, so I'm doing the drawing. Constantly looking at the drawing. Now I've got a bigger brush and I've gone in with proper oil paint now, kind of straight out the tube consistency. The brush is probably about half an inch. It's not that big, but you know, it's a fairly small portrait. It's a kind of tiling effect, mosaic some people call it, where you just put in sort of slabs of colour. Not worrying about blending at this stage. You'll notice, well, the camera angle is slightly distorting distorting the canvas. The drawing isn't quite. It's quite accurate, although there is one glaring error, which I correct in a minute. Is that the crown of the head, the hair, is way too big for the face. I love watching other artists. There's some amazing artists who do oil portrait demos, and often I'm watching them and I'm thinking, come on man, sort it out. You've done two noses there, or you know, the mouth is sort of above the eye. You definitely got it wrong. And I'm thinking, why can't they see it? Actually, it's usually something a bit more subtle than that. But I think, why can't they see it? I can see it. But that's the whole nature of painting, is that you're constantly checking, and you do miss things. You just have blind spots. You just do. And that's why we have to use tricks, which I didn't do here. I didn't get my mirror out. I should have got my mirror out. Don't listen to me. Bad habits. Or I think I did take a photograph and have a look. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But that's another thing you can do. Take a photograph. Excuse me. Have a look on your phone. I've got a smartphone, by the way, now. I'm embracing my new career as a YouTube producer. So I've got a smartphone. Actually, I only bought it for the camera, which I think I filmed this on. So where are we? I'm adjusting I'm going to go for it in a minute. I think I've spotted the heads. Yeah, there we go. Bring it down. A bit like a sculptor, just shaving off bits of the head. And I will, in a minute, put a bit of background colour in to mimic the it's not sky, is it? The water. And I'll use that to kind of refine the profile. Her nose is a bit small at the minute. She's got a lovely sort of pre-Raphaelite look about her, but in my painting she looks a little bit too Elvis Presley, or I should say Elvis Presley's daughter, maybe. Lisa Marie, is it? Anyway, I was pleased with it from the start. It didn't go off on any strange tangents. It felt good. I was enjoying sometimes flesh tones are hard to get right, and I just felt like they made sense from the word go, especially like that kind of orange around the neck. Maybe I exaggerated a bit much, but I think I like that. And I'm just accentuating some of the lights. The E was too bright, so I'm darkening that, and then I think I'll go in and darken the hair in a minute. Really give it a bit of solidity. There's a bunch of techniques there. You saw me using my thumb. Yeah, and there. Blending is alright, you can do blending, but you have to make sure that you don't overblend and you don't blend areas where you need pure colour. So say where I've just put that nice kind of pink line down a nose there. If I started blending that too much, it would lose that freshness, that feeling of the blood under the skin. It's good to think in terms of that. You don't have to be an anatomical genius, but it's good to just think about the head structure, where the blood is closest to the skin. That's obviously the lips and the ears and the nose, and where there's less blood is sort of where you're right on the bone, where you can feel the bone. So that would be the inner eyes. Often you can slightly exaggerate the kind of cool grey that you get just on that kind of bridge of the nose, between the bridge of the nose and the eye. There's often a little spot where it's quite cool. I'm just trying to capture that nice turn on the mouth there, in the corner of the mouth. Oh, it's made a mistake. See, check in. That's quite often what you do. You mix up a colour on the palette, you think you get it right, and you just have to test it before you whack it on. And if you get it wrong, you remix. Just getting that turn of the chin. Why do we paint? Why do we paint? We love painting. Using a small brush, just for some of the details around the nose, just trying to restate the drawing is one way of putting it. You just clarify some of the positions. I just felt like this was a little bit wrong, so I was just correcting the mouth and the nose profile. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Try things out. Just keep looking, keep checking, and squint down a lot. And that means when you squint, both at the reference and your artwork, you eliminate the influence of colour, or it replicates a sort of black and white. It becomes more obvious, the tonal aspect of the painting and the reference. What I mean by that is the light and dark, the tonal. And that's way more important than colour. Way more important, even though I've been talking about cool and warm. Yeah, sorry, technical error there, crashed. Much more important than colour is tone, because you can look at a picture, a black and white picture, and it will make total sense. You can, and some YouTubers have done this, they've used random colours, painting on, say, Photoshop with a black and white filter, and just picking random colours, and the final outcome reads well. It's not unpleasant and it makes sense. The brain understands it. That's because you can have colours that change. You can have light reflecting off all kinds of surfaces, so the brain's quite used to seeing different colours on the face. You can have different lights. You can have red bulbs, green bulbs, disco colour bulbs, disco colour bulbs. But what you can't have, and what the brain freaks out when it sees, is dark patches or light patches where they shouldn't be. If something is darker or lighter than it should be, the brain thinks you're ill, or that person, not you're ill, because you're the one looking at it, but the thing you're looking at is ill, or bruised, or damaged. You understand? So you have to be really careful about the tonal aspect of your painting, way more than colours. One technique the old masters tended to use was they would do a tonal underpainting. So you do a black and white underpainting called a grisaille, or you would use like an umber, similar to what I did here, but you'd let it dry and you do it in more detail. you'd almost create the final painting as an underpainting, as a black and white tonal painting, and then you simply go in and put the colours on after, making and you use that as a reference, so you get the tone right. You can't go wrong really in terms of tone. It's quite a nice way of working. I've done it a few times. It's not as immediate as this kind of method, which we call alla prima. I was going to say alla primark. This is more fun. Well, it's more fun in a way because you just do it and it's done, and you go, I did it. Or you go, it's rubbish. So so just to recap, tone is much more important. Get the tone values right. Keep checking the tone values. I'm just messing about with the eye now. I was tempted to leave the eye. In fact, about half an hour before this, I was tempted to leave the whole thing and just keep it as a sketch. But I was enjoying it. And like I said, it's just difficult to stop painting when you're enjoying it. I think I got the eye wrong. I think I got it too small. I think I rub it all out again. Yep, there you go. Sometimes less is more. Well, pretty much always less is more. The brain will read. It's like looking at when you look at a cloud and you see a face. We're hardwired to recognise features, human features, so you can almost get away with doing less. You can hint at things, and especially the eye, which is such a complex structure. But what you don't want to do is get spectacularly wrong. Anyway, there we go. That was it. I think there was a little bit more, but the video cut out. That's the final picture. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.